horror story of the ghosts of the Capitol Theater, the horror of real ghosts. The old Capitol Theater is located in downtown Willimantic, Connecticut, USA. Like most old buildings, the building has had its share of terrifying, dramatic stories about ghosts roaming the theater. In fact, these stories are linked to a number of real incidents that took place inside. Building. The construction of the Capitol Theater was completed in January 1926 AD, and when it opened, it had more than 1,200 seats, and it included a set of brass inlaid furniture, a large balcony to receive VIP visitors, a walkway, private rooms for smokers for men and women, and a staircase made entirely of luxurious marble. It has live theatrical performances as well as cinematic films for its guests, but a year before it was closed, it was limited to showing films only. During almost 40 years, hundreds of films and plays were shown inside this building, until the curtain came down on its last performances in October 1973 AD, after which the building became empty, and with the passage of time its condition became very bad. And since its closure until its restoration in 2002 AD, many claim to see ghosts wandering around inside the building. The sounds of screaming and crying of a child echoed throughout the building, and some people reported seeing people on its balconies even though it was completely empty. Some believe that these ghosts are the souls of the people who lost their lives inside this luxurious building, as the theater witnessed throughout its history a number of real murder incidents, most of which were not actually reported, and the first of those incidents was what happened in the 20s of the 20th century, that is, after the opening of Capitol in a short time. This incident concerned an actress who was working in the theater and had an affair with a fellow actor in the theater, and it seems that at the same time she had a relationship with a wealthy theater goer, and after knowing her relationship with her colleague, he fired a bullet at him to try to kill him, but the bullet hit the actress herself. "So I killed her instantly." The other incident is when two actors were performing a role on stage, and the role included that they duel with swords, and it seemed that they merged in the performance. So one of them stabbed the other with a stab that caused him a serious wound that eventually led to his death in a terrifying scene for the masses who attended this realistic drama show. There is another tragedy that occurred inside the Capitol Theater, which is when a woman fell from the balcony of the theater and died a few days later in a local hospital, along with some accounts of some actors who died on the stage of the Capitol Theater while performing their roles. And besides those tragic events that occurred within the walls of the Capitol, there was a murder that occurred in a clothing store located right next to the Capitol, and the dead man was the owner of the shop. It is believed that the killer was either his daughter, wife, or one of them, but the police never identified the killer. With the theater being associated with all these tragic events, many began to believe that the souls of those who were killed or died in tragic events inside the theater are still stuck inside, and this belief remained prevalent until it was restored at a cost of $17 million in the year 2002 AD, after which it turned into an art school and the headquarters of the Academy of Performing Arts. It now houses classrooms, art galleries and studios, and the ghosts have all but vanished. Share the story.